I lost custody but not hope. From fear to peace, trusting God in the hardest season. Hello. Today I want to share a part of my story with you. This story isn't about divorce, adultery, or losing custody of my children. It's about hope, faith, and learning to trust in the one who never fails, even when life feels impossible. From a young age, I believed in God, but through marriage struggles, divorce, and eventually a custody battle, I found the Lord in a different way. I discovered that faith wasn't just about words. It was about trusting God with everything, even when the outcome was uncertain. To give you some context, I had been a divorced single mother for over 6 years. For more than a year of that time, I did not have full custody of my children. The loss of custody started on an ordinary Sunday, almost 2 years after the divorce. My ex-husband returned the children from a weekend with him and his partner. Instead of his usual coffee and small talk, he came in and said, "We need to talk." Instantly, I felt fear rising. That afternoon, I learned that he wanted primary custody of the children. He told me the children wanted to stay with him and his partner, that they were happier there, and he even suggested that I should consider moving far away. My heart broke. I couldn't understand how the person who once promised never to take my children could do this. At first, I was tempted to hire a lawyer and fight. Family and friends encouraged me to go down that road. But the Lord reminded me of a verse I had read before. Agree with your adversary quickly while you're on the way with him. I prayed for 3 days, asking for guidance and peace. When I finally went to see a lawyer, the office was closed. In that moment, I felt God's clear answer. This is not my way. I learned a profound lesson early on. Sometimes the most courageous thing you can do is surrender. To walk in faith, not fear. To let God guide the steps you cannot see. As the custody process continued, I was initially anxious and scared, but I leaned into the Lord for strength. Each time I faced a new step, I prayed for peace, for wisdom, and for my children's well-being. I remembered the principles I had learned: to win without a word, to maintain a gentle and quiet spirit, to agree enthusiastically, and to take everything to God. I prayed, knowing that the ultimate outcome was not in my hands. And eventually I did lose primary custody of my children. During the months before they moved away permanently, the Lord worked in my heart. I cried, I grieved, and I wrestled with sadness. But slowly, joy and peace began to replace despair. He reminded me of Abraham, who had to surrender his only son, yet was rewarded for his obedience. I realized that this trial wasn't just about custody, it was about obedience, faith, and learning to rest in his plan. After the children moved, I started to embrace the time I did have with them more fully. I became the fun mom they wanted me to be. I focused on quality over quantity, creating memories and guiding them spiritually and emotionally, no matter how limited our time together was. Over that first year, I learned so many things. I learned to trust God with my children's protection. I learned to ask for the Lord's guidance in everything. I learned that maintaining a gentle, quiet, and peaceful spirit diffuses tension. I learned that letting go of control allows God to reveal his plan. And I learned that even in loss, there is an opportunity to heal, grow, and minister to others. My relationship with my children remained strong because I chose peace and love over fear and control. After I fully trusted the Lord with my situation, things began to change. The Lord turned everything around for good. He opened doors for me to move closer to my children and even homeschool them, creating a new season of blessings and opportunities. Each step and each challenge is shaping a story of faith, hope, and restoration, not just for me, but for the women who will hear this and know there is always hope, even in desperate situations. To any woman watching this today, maybe you're in a storm. Maybe it is divorce, a custody battle, betrayal, or loss. I want to encourage you to trust the Lord. Lean into him. Allow him to transform your heart and let go of what you cannot control. Your faith, your obedience, and your surrender are powerful. God fights for you, protects your children, and provides in ways that are beyond human understanding. Remember, your story isn't over. What feels like a loss today can become a testimony tomorrow. Hold on to him, trust his plan, and let your heart be filled with peace, even in the midst of trials.